And we're live. Hello, everyone. This is Dwight Woods, the Jeet Kune Do Rebel, and welcome to the special Monday episode of the Jeet Kune Do Dialogues with Mario Pezzo. I'm going to get the correct pronunciation of his name as soon as he comes on. So as you guys are logging in, you know the deal. Hey, Andrew Weaver, please say where you're logging in from. Hiram Daniel is here. Yeah, say where you're logging in from and hit the like button, and feel free to continue hitting the like button as the show progresses. Hector Arvello is here. Hey, Bob Landers. All right, cool. Okay, so we'll get the information from Mr. Pezzo when he gets on here, right? So let's give him a few minutes to get up and running. Alan McNaughton is here. All right, cool. Hey, Daryl White. Bob Landers, I would think that you'd be in. Hey, Sifu Randy. Bob Landers, how I don't see why it would be a problem for you to be a member of Junfan Gung Fu Institute. You know, you're a popular guy. Everybody will want you a member of their outfit, I'm sure. All right, so okay, it's right on the hour. Let's see who else is here. Hey, Angie Noda, Gavin Cook. All right, there we go. Mario Pezzo. Hey, Dave McCulloch. All right, there we go. All right, I'll wait for you to settle down.
Yeah. Good for the plug-in. How are you, Dwight?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Okay. I don't think I've ever actually heard your voice.
Oh yeah. How do I rotate that or?
Yeah.
Huge.
No, you look good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see you, but my picture looks like I'm huge.
All right. Sit down, because we're going to be on here for an hour, man.
Oh, okay. Let me get a chair.
Yeah. He has no idea who he's dealing with, you know. I mean, there's not no 5-minute interview. Are you kidding? No way.
Who else do you have online with you?
You mean right now who's watching?
Mm-hmm.
There's a ton of people, man. Hotman Canales, Dave McCulloch, Sifu Randy, Karen Waters, Bob Landers, Andrew Weaver, Gavin Cook, Angie Noda, Alan McNaughton, Daryl White, Hector Arvello. Come on, man. Hiram Daniel. Yeah.
Yeah, I went from seeing everybody, then I don't see anybody anymore.
Yeah. So you don't have the strong Italian accent?
No, my father's from Italy. I'm born and raised in New York.
You don't even have the New York accent. What's wrong with you?
No, it comes out sometimes. People have said that to me. But I've been out here for almost 4 years now.
40?
4 years.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah, I've been out here almost 4 years now.
All right. So that's the thing. I could not find any like history on you, so to speak. So I want you to give me the breakdown. So you moved from New York to Washington 4 years ago?
In March it'll be 4 years.
Okay. All right. So then
it's like 3.5. Yeah.
Okay. Why?
And why? Yeah, a lot of people ask me that. Well, 37 when I moved here. I lived there my whole life. I went to college there, worked in the city. So my sister and her fiance, or now her husband, moved out here, and every time I talked to my sister, she was like, come out to Seattle, come out to Seattle, come out to Seattle.
Yeah.
So finally it was like, yeah, Dad and Winter over in New York, so I was like, let me go over there and just, check it out. And I took a chance. If I didn't like it, I was going to come back. But
right. Yeah.
I found out doing in the same field of work that I do now relatively pretty quickly, within a couple of months. And I just got used to the whole commute from Seattle to where I live in Bremerton across the water,
Yep.
and then I came across the Kimuras.
So when
And
you okay, were you in JKD in New York?
yes, in Brooklyn.
So you let's see, who's in Brooklyn? Let me think. Well, there's the guys at Unlimited. Is it Unlimited at UMA? Who else is in Brooklyn?
I found Chris Kent's people or Fanos in
Right,
Brooklyn
Dino.
or
Of
New York.
right, I was yeah. Okay, yeah. Every time I think of Dino, I think of Long Island for some reason. I don't
He
think
has a
first of
couple of
Brooklyn.
affiliate schools. No, he
Right.
does have a couple in Queens, in Long Island. I think he opened up a couple other ones. So those are, yeah, he's affiliated with Chris Kent and
Right.
Ed Wong. I think he was taught by as well.
Okay. But before that, here's what I did find out. 20 years ago, you were in Cook Sool 1.
That's right.
Yeah. But I couldn't find where. Was that, what part of New York was that being taught?
I grew up an hour north of New York City. So if you took the Metro North, it's like over an hour north to a town called Mahopac, New York.
Okay.
So that's where I started, and my instructor was taught by a man called Marlon Sims. You ever
Huh.
hear of Chief
No.
Master Marlon Sims?
No.
He's been in Black Belt magazines a bunch over the years.
Right.
Um, he is the first martial arts master I have ever met in my life, and he was pretty realistic with his training,
Mm-hmm.
and he still is active to this day. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm friends with him on Facebook, and man looks like he's still in really good shape, and he means business
Right.
as far as teaching, and he shoots. He does archery off of horseback and everything. He's like no joke.
Ah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they did in Cook School. They taught you archery, knife
Yep.
throwing.
Yep. Yep.
Then they
Right. I mean, it's not that well known, I mean, compared to like Taekwondo or something. So how did you get involved in that? What was the attraction to Kuksul?
it was in between the gym and my house. So I passed by and I walked past it for years because
Okay.
I've been lifting weights since I was, 15 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm talking about 4 or 5 years of walking past that place. And then, as you're a teenager, you hear it's this, it's that, it's a bunch of kill moves and techniques. And
Right.
so out of curiosity, I went up there because I've never studied any martial arts previous to that.
Right.
And then I went up there and then, yeah, I was there going on almost 3 years. Then I moved down to the city, went to college.
Okay. All right. And is
And
that where you started the BJJ?
my second martial art, and a lot of my friends still to this day, they went to a Gracie Jiu-Jitsu Academy in
Mm-hmm.
Thornwood, New York.
Okay.
There was a man, Steve Cardian. He was the instructor of the school. He was only a purple belt when I met him. And he was taught by the Gracies, and
Mm-hmm.
he was affiliated with them. And that was my second martial arts experience.
Okay. How long did you stay in that?
Maybe 6 to 9 months. It was pretty rough.
Uh,
I actually had a bad experience with it, and I didn't go back to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for a long time
right.
because of that.
Okay.
And I did I liked, submission wrestling and catch wrestling.
Yeah.
I did study Sanda in New York City in Hell's Kitchen
Uh-huh.
when I was looking to go to school and, was working in the city with Seafood David Ross.
Okay.
And he's a Sanda specialist in, Sanda Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah.
So I had that little bit of experience. That was pretty cool. That was
Yeah.
like an MMA camp.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Damn New York, man. There's nothing you can't find in that place, huh?
There's over 100 listings for martial arts schools in New York City. So I know what Kali Eskrima, our niece was,
Right.
just from, looking online.
Yeah. Yeah.
They have every type of Taekwondo school, every type of karate you can think of. There's even, if you go out to Coney Island, they got some good Sambo and, Russian martial arts,
Mm-hmm.
all that type of stuff too.
Right.
And a whole bunch of MMA people.
Right. Now you name the city you said that you're from.
Mahopac, New York.
So that's a Native American name, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What does it mean?
I don't know what it means. But the whole joke was that the Indians were traveling through that part and they stopped to drink some water, and his pack of cigarettes fell out into the water, and he went, "My whole pack." So that's the joke I've always heard since I was a kid. But
Yeah.
that's the only lineage to the name I've ever heard.
Okay. And how does Park Slope, New York, how does that feature in your life?
Oh, that's when I was an engineer actually at Columbia University. I went to
Okay.
college for facilities management. I was
Uh-huh.
a superintendent in Midtown Manhattan for like 7 years.
Okay.
And by that time, I went and got my refrigeration engineer's license.
Right.
So it's like if you wanted a bigger, better job, you got to learn some HVAC, and I lived there for a long time in
Right.
Brooklyn. Yeah,
Okay. And that's the field that you're in now, still to this day?
I'm a mobile engineer for Chase Bank.
Okay. So that's not related to HVAC or anything, is it?
Oh no, it is.
It
I
is?
take care of all the maintenance for the banks. I take care of like 21 branches along my route.
Oh God. Okay. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. No. 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 So I spent some time in the Seattle area. I used to hang out in Federal Way.
Okay.
I used to hang out in Bremerton itself.
Okay.
Right. I used to hang out across the is Tacoma across the bay
It's right
from
across
Seattle?
the bridge.
Across
Yeah,
the
it's
bridge.
like
Right. Yeah.
about half an hour from here.
Okay. Yeah. I used to hang out in Tacoma, but my main hangout was I don't even remember. Oh gosh, I have the address somewhere in storage, but it was on a hill, and from my bedroom window I could look out onto Boeing Field.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my Seattle experience. How long after you moved there did you get in touch with the Kimuras?
Uh, um, Within the first year, because I did this Meet Bruce Lee, or like the Chinatown like tour at the Wing Loop Museum.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
So I went there. I did that. That was like an intro to like the classes and seeing. I wanted to see what the difference really was between Junfang Kung Fu and Jeet Kune Do.
Right.
So I was originally, JKD lineage, that's Inosanto. So
Right.
I was like, I always knew who Taki was. I knew who Andy was
Yeah.
from, documentaries and, magazines and
Yeah.
stuff.
Right.
So I was like, oh, that's nice. I just like to say hello. And, I bought a book. Taki,
Mm-hmm.
signed it for me
Mm-hmm.
and everything. But I wanted to see really what the difference was. And
I
after training with them and, being with them for a while now.
Yeah. Wait. Did you get a call or something?
Who, me? No, people
No?
keep like responding or
Yeah.
commenting, and
Oh,
I
okay.
think
All right. Okay. Yeah. So actually, so you are admin for on Facebook for I love Junfan Jeet Kune Do. So I actually did want to ask you, how do you distinguish and differentiate between Jeet Kune Do, Jeet Kune Do concepts, Junfan Jeet Kune Do, Junfan Gung Fu, and the whole salad bowl?
oh wow, I guess that depends on your lineage if you break it down.
Okay.
Right? Jeet Kune Do concepts, that's in Santo, right?
Right. Yeah.
That, so the Junfang Kung Fu, that's totally Taki. Then you have the other seafoods. I know that they broke off, but I guess that depends on your lineage.
Yeah. Um, and the in let's see, I got to find it here because I made a note because there's some stuff of yours that I found online. So you said straight lead punch is my favorite JKD move or philosophy, especially after training with the Kimuras. So break that
Oh,
down for me. Yeah, break that down for me.
oh, we did that a lot in New York. They had everything was what would they call it? The front hand education.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we practiced that, and I used to do that. I still to this day do it a lot by myself. I
Mm-hmm.
practice my footwork
Mm-hmm.
and just coming out, because when I first started, I wasn't too confident in my striking.
Okay.
Because I'm not too tall, but after working with them and then having them see it work on it, especially Taki sitting there watching you too.
Yeah.
And then, sometimes he gets up and he corrects you, but, having him and Andy's guidance and, the other students, it's nice and strong now. It's not like it used to be.
Okay. Do you make a comparison or a contrast between the stuff with Orfanos versus the stuff with the Kimuras? Is it similar, very different, very similar, or what?
It's like the Junfang Kung Fu. The only way I can explain to a lot of people, it's like your non-classical Kung Fu. It's not your non-traditional Kung Fu. Jesse Glover's, that's what he called it, non-classical Kung Fu.
Yeah. That's
pretty much, I can't explain it any other way, because it's got Western boxing in it.
Right.
It's Bruce's philosophy on, he changed a lot of things with trapping.
Because
they've had Wing Chun people come in and then they saw some of the trapping. They're like, that's not Wing Chun.
Right.
They're like, I don't know what that is. That's,
right. Yeah.
That's
Bruce
Lee.
Right. Yeah. You spent time with the Jesse Glover people?
No, I talked to them and I'm friends with them and part of that, group that they have online. I watched that and I watched a lot of his videos. No, I liked him and the way he taught. And he seemed like he was a very cool, calm, person.
Right.
And definitely knew what he was doing.
Yeah. So you were not in Seattle when the nuclear stuff was happening then, since you've only been there for 3 years, right?
No, that's before me. No.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Because I was going to ask you, I thought maybe you had been, so I was going to ask you if you attended the event. So besides the Chris Kent lineage, Kimura lineage, now recent. So I made a joke when you put the picture of you and Sifu Dan, right, at the seminar. So I made a joke for everybody who was. I made a joke. I said to Mario, because the first time I asked you to come on the program, you shut me down. Do you remember that?
Yeah, it was like I felt it was a little too. I'm sorry for that. I apologize. Shy.
Right. So he posted a picture of himself and Sifu Dan. So I reached out to him again and I said, hey, maybe now you'll come on the program and you'll tell us about the experience. So first things first, what is the benefit for you in attending an Inosanto seminar?
Oh, that's a good question. And the first time I went there, it was like someone said, drinking from a fire hose. It was just so much information coming at me.
Right.
So this is the first time I went. It was a little overwhelming, but I saw everything from a much broader perspective after going there. And I definitely learned a lot about him. Well, he knows a lot about history, being a history teacher.
Right.
But some of the things that he shared about, Bruce Lee and the whole hand mitts and kicking shields.
Yeah.
And Bruce Lee, inventing that. But as far as starting in Kali, and then, I went to that one, and then the first time it was like, wow, now I have a lot of material to work on and get to know. And then some of the JKD, I felt really comfortable with.
Yeah.
So by the second time I went back and I did the second one, I felt more comfortable.
Where was this seminar? In Washington?
Beaverton, Oregon.
Okay.
You familiar with David Killian?
No. Now, Oregon is the one between Washington and California?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Like 2 hours from where I live.
Yeah. Let me think. I don't know if I can't remember if I've ever been out there. No, but it's David Killian, you said?
Yeah, Killian's martial arts. He had that twice there.
Okay.
And last time they had it at a Crunch gym.
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. I'll reach out to him. There's one thing I want to ask you about. Now we can't see it because you got your jacket on or whatever. The ink. What's the story behind the ink, man?
Well, yeah, I do have a lot of ink. Even the tattoo on my back, everyone's like, "What's that mean? What's that mean?" I simply tell them the truth. It's a philosophy.
How do you mean?
Well, it's using, using no way as a way, having no limitation as a limitation.
Right.
That's Bruce's philosophy.
Right. So, but okay, so that's why you have ink on.
No. I've always liked tattoos. When I
Really?
turned, have dragons that go from my chest here onto my arm, and then someone made a sleeve for me. But
Ooh.
I have the dragons I got when I turned 21 in the year 2000.
Okay.
So it was Year of the Dragon,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So I'm a big Bruce Lee fan. I always like that. So I got some dragons. And then when I turned 22, I got some tigers. I got a Bengal tiger and a Persian tiger here.
Whoa.
And then actually didn't get any tattoos after that until I was an engineer and was living in Brooklyn.
Uh-huh.
I came across a guy who was from Amsterdam, and he was going through some rough times. He needed money, and he did really good work for cheap.
Wow.
So like my sleeve only cost about $1,200 as opposed
Okay.
to like $5,000 is
Right.
charge.
What's on the back?
Oh, that's the yin yang.
Ah. Yeah, I was going to do that one time, and then I found out how much it hurt.
It's bearable pain. Actually, on my back, my friend did it. I had a really old friend of mine do it who has his own tattoo shop back east. So when I saw him, he said, "Come in." So he did a really good job. I'll send the picture to you.
Okay, yeah, I'd like to see it.
Really good job, and he did it within like 2 hours too. He did it really fast.
Wow. Hey, let me ask you something. Is this true or not? Once a New Yorker, always a New Yorker?
Yeah, I do miss home and think about going back, but I do really like it out here a lot.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I fell in love with Seattle. I mean, I was there 30-something years ago, right? And I was still living in the islands at the time. So it was kind of my first extended stay in the big country. And I loved it. There was just something magical about Seattle, and I went home and I would talk and tell stories about it. That's actually how I learned to this day. If you give me an address here in Miami, I can tell you exactly how to get to it. And I learned how to do that when my friend showed me how to read the map, the paper map of downtown Seattle. And she explained everything to me, and I have used that all over this country since then. My
father was that same way too. Yeah,
really?
He had a whole road atlas of the whole United States.
Yeah.
He did a lot.
Yeah. Hey, how does somebody get involved in refrigeration? How do you end up in that?
I went to college. I was looking to go in there actually for HVAC. And my father is a general contractor.
Okay.
So he does like kitchens, bathrooms, remodeling. So
Okay.
I worked with him since I was a kid.
Ah.
So he was like, go to school, and he was like, trust me, go to college. And so I told the admissions counselor at the school I was interested in HVAC because I told him my my work background, and he was like, "You try facilities management." He goes, "You probably end up being a building superintendent," and I did. I got my job the last semester of college, and I was already working.
Right.
So I was had a job, everything finished and done.
So that's a kind of a hands-on approach to life, huh?
Oh yeah. I mean, I learned it's more my end is of facilities management is building core, building systems, building operations, maintenance, and life, fire, and safety. I was a fire safety director as well.
Okay. Now, so how does that hands-on approach to life manifest itself in your martial art?
Actually, it does a lot because that branches off into so many different ways, facilities management. So it's like my work definitely spilled into my martial arts where I went and learned Jeet Kune Do, Junfang Kung Fu. I learned Kali. I was doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and training with a boxer as well. We're doing some one-on-ones with him as well. So it's like branch out and see how much you can do or what you can do and what you like. And I stuck with that philosophy.
Right.
It's like what Inosanto says at his seminars.
Yeah. Yeah. The picture, I think it's the picture with him. your T-shirt has the Jeet Kune Do symbol, but then under it, it says, I think it says the Junfan Gung Fu Institute of Seattle, right? Okay. So I wanted to ask you if then how the Jeet Kune Do symbol is representative of the Junfan Gung Fu. Do you get what I'm saying? Because sometimes some people think of it as being separate. You know, why, I don't know, because to me it makes no sense. But I want to know if there was a specific reasoning behind that design.
Chisao. Doing cheese.
Huh.
Nice and close.
Okay.
You have that circle right there, so they tell you to
Right.
keep. So that's the only way I could think of how the circle can be applied, you know, into the martial art. Because I've noticed, you know, my hands nice and close and don't, you know, scrunch up, like have my shoulders up, be nice, relaxed, and
Yeah.
it's like that ball of energy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I started doing it, you know. And it took such a long time to get used to. It really is not something you can just pick up right away.
Right.
But I remember them saying that there. See how they have it on the shirt, and that's how, you know, I remember, you know, doing chisao was from that.
Okay. Okay. If you were given the job, right, of uniting the Jeet Kune Do family, what would you do?
Oh my God. Well, try to speak as just a mediator. You know, just try to say, you know, don't shoot the messenger. Maybe something that a lot of people would like to see.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, kind of like a super seminar or some type of event where you have them all together. You're right. It would be nice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that the nucleus events, I think I went to only 2 of them. That was kind of a start, you know, but unfortunately that didn't survive, right? I wanted to ask you this, because I'm pretty sure you're aware of it. So to the best of my knowledge, Taki Kimura has never had a problem with Dan Inosanto. But I think it's safe to say that it is said that some of the other people who trained in the Los Angeles school, people who may even have been brought to Bruce Lee by Dan Inosanto, it can be said, or it is said, that these people had a problem with Inosanto. But to the best of my knowledge, Taki Kimura has never had a problem with Inosanto. What would you say is it about Taki Kimura that makes him such a unique individual?
His personality.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've been with her. I've hung out with him about, you know, a dozen times, and
yeah,
it really is his personality. He really is like that nice, you know, gentle. You know, he was like the first couple times I met him. Hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. You know, then see me in class a bunch. Nice to see you again. And yeah, I could see in just some of the things that I've heard about him over the years, and one story that I heard that his daughter-in-law wrote and that Andy read at the at his birthday party, and then they had the seminar. Something that he read and shared there, and that was like, wow, that really changed me, and you know, the way I thought about Taki. And he really does have something special about him.
Yeah, and Andy is kind of the same way, huh?
Andy, when I met him, was very nice, very approachable, was asking me a lot of questions because he was like, why are you from New York? What are you doing out here? And right, where's your lineage? And that. And then he was like, wow, you did some good research. And I was like, thank you. And while after the first seminar, then I did another one. And after that, I've been training with them. But I could see why, you know, a lot of people took to Taki and liked them. And yeah, it's definitely his personality.
Okay. All right. I'm going to keep name dropping. So at that birthday seminar, you got to spend time with Chris Kent and Burt Richardson, right?
Yep, they were both there.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, obviously.
During the day. But I went
Okay.
to one day, like a couple of hours right before the birthday, and I met all of them, which
Okay.
was nice.
Yeah.
Burton, I liked because I was watching a lot of his videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
Especially on how he did the test for his instructors and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I was around the boxing, around the kickboxing,
Mm-hmm.
grappling around and MMA around,
Yeah.
weapons around.
Yeah.
So I like that, and I told him, and he was talking to him for like a couple of minutes, and then everybody else.
Okay.
And that's the first time I met Chris Kent too.
Right. Yeah. Did you get to hang out with Inosanto when you were in Oregon?
First couple of times I met him, the first two seminars, I did talk to him, a good 5-10 minutes, but it was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Chris Clark was there, so he introduced me to him. And
okay.
I made him feel comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah. Is Chris Clark in Oregon now, not in Washington State anymore?
I think he lives there. I'm not sure.
Right. Okay. What about so was it you who created the I Love Junfan Jeet Kune Do page on Facebook?
Me and Tavis LeMay.
And Tavis LeMay, right? Okay. All right. Why are you on Facebook? Right? Because look, I mean, I spend a lot of time on it, but before I started doing this, reaching out to other JKD people, I really didn't spend that much time on Facebook, right? So what does Facebook do for you? Why are you on Facebook?
Keep in contact with family back east.
That's what I thought. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, friends back east, and and actually one of my friends pointed out, since I've been out here and I've been studying JKD, I really did network with and meet a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It was really good. So that's why, I like you. That's why I use Facebook for.
Yeah, right. So I had, like I told you, I couldn't find a ton of martial art pictures for you, but the ones that I found, it looked to me like if I was like, okay, these might be the significant ones, right? So for anybody who didn't see it, there's a picture of you and Linda Lee, right? Okay, so tell us what that experience was like.
Oh, she was very nice, very nice, polite, and she asked me what school I was from.
Oh, okay.
So, I was with Sifu Andes, and she told me keep up the good work. I was like, thank you.
Yeah, right.
I was happy about that. That was a really cool night. I was happy about that.
Yeah. I mean, that's a piece of history. Did you see that down in LA Chinatown this past Sunday they had a little workshop at the Chinatown location?
That was Eric Carr, right?
Yeah.
I'm friends with him on Facebook. I've been watching all that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm hoping that I can get him to come on and tell us what that was like. So you mentioned way back when we started talking about being a Bruce Lee fan. So that was from childhood?
Oh yeah.
But you didn't start training until later on, right?
Yeah, this is I did Kuk Sool first. I did all those other martial arts. And then, I went to school, I worked, I was in my field for a while, and I was just going to the gym, I was lifting weights. Mm-hmm. So then, Ultimate Fighting started getting good and interesting again.
Okay.
Like with the whole Ronda Rousey and Conor McGregor. And so I started watching that again. I was like, oh, I got to train. I can't sit around and do anything anymore. It's just, go to the gym and just having to eat and train. I was like, I need more.
Right.
So that's when I started, doing my research, and I said to myself, I want to do something I've never done before, something untraditional, and something, out of the norm that I've always wanted to do for a long time. And then I found that school in Brooklyn, and I hit the nail on the head.
Right. But what, why do you think you had that approach? Why did you say, okay, I want to get into something, but I want to do something different, and I want to do something non-classical? What sparked that idea?
Everything looked the same to me. I went from school to martial art, and it was just like everything started looking the same. Uh, Martial arts schools, MMA schools, I kind of felt was getting trendy at one point.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? It was like everything was MMA, UFC shirts, this,
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So I was like, I can see why the traditional people were getting pissed, the traditional martial arts guys, because that's all you saw. And I was just like, it's like the whole McDojo,
Right.
everything's franchised this. So I went to them, and they said they've been there since the 80s, like late 80s, doing,
Mm-hmm.
JKD. And they were always like, learn the lineage. So I was like, wow. And I picked it up pretty fast. I was surprised at how fast I picked up JKD.
Yeah. Really?
Probably from the other martial arts experience.
Right. Yeah. Do you think too, because it's a simplified approach? You think?
Yeah, it's definitely, but having some background and experience did help
Mm-hmm.
me more.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw a lot of people who were there at the same time who were struggling.
Right.
But as far as being a simplified approach, and then you saw those people like a year down the road, they improved.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what I liked about the art.
Right. Wait, man, I didn't make a note of that one. But you said about Kuk Sul Won, you said that the techniques do work,
Yeah.
right? Is that because people always say, well, if it's not MMA, if it's not Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, then it's probably like a fake martial art?
No, well, that's Marlon Sims, how realistic he was with his training and how to use your art and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I noticed a lot of the techniques worked, and they really taught us how to apply them well. Because it's a
Right.
lot like Hapkido, so that's why I mentioned in that video.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it looked a lot like Hapkido.
Yeah.
There's even Kuk Sul Hapkido, traditional Korean Hapkido. That's what
Right.
it translates to.
Yeah. And that horseback archery thing, that is also a Korean art, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
He said that that's what the Koreans used to use, and they stole this thing from the Mongols, where they would retreat, and then they would draw and shoot back. So it's like those guys in the back were getting run right into the arrows.
Ah.
So that was like a Korean, like Mongolian type of technique that they used for archery.
Right.
And that's how he said Genghis Khan used to win a lot of his battles.
Okay.
Doing that.
Hey, did you ever hear that a lot of what we know as Japanese art were actually stolen from Korea by the Japanese? Did you ever hear that?
Well, I did hear that Masoyama actually was Korean. He wasn't
Right.
Japanese.
Right. That's
Right?
true.
He was a kid who was abducted, right? And
Yeah.
then brought to Japan.
Yeah.
I knew that. I read that.
Yeah.
So I think they used to steal each other, to tell you the truth. Steal a samurai from this side, steal the Korean guy from this side, steal a guy from China.
Yeah.
See what he has to offer.
Yeah.
And Inosanto said they did to the Filipinos as well.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
For sure, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That Inosanto guy, man, when he starts talking.
Well, it's great because he's a history teacher on top of it, and he
Right.
really did learn, from his background. He learned a lot about, the Philippines, and it's
Yeah.
very interesting. I
Yeah.
don't think a lot of people know too much about that part of the world.
I know. But isn't it hilarious, right? When he stops because he goes, man, I've been talking a long time. And then he goes, okay, what were we doing?
You just gotta jump back into it. Yeah, you gotta bring a
Yeah.
notepad with you.
Yeah, he's the best. He's the best. All right,
Walking
so
encyclopedia.
hey, listen, what is because you put a post about oh gosh, it's a movie with Angelina Jolie and oh man, I didn't write it down, but you put up a post about a movie being worth a look, something about how to find your angels or your saints or something. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Geez, what was it? A Guide to Recognizing Your Saints.
Yeah.
That's a movie, that was based on, I guess, a guy who was from Astoria, Queens.
Okay. I have never heard of that movie, and I know everything there is to know about movies.
Right, that's a good one. because one of the cameramen who I'm friends with on Facebook was in a band called the Chromags. You ever hear of the Chromags?
No.
Bad Brains, Chromags.
No.
Oh, so now he's a cameraman, and he worked. That's one of the movies he worked on. So I watched it, and a lot of people tell me that I look like and sound like a lot of those characters in that movie because they're Italians.
But I wanted to ask. So right? You cannot talk to an Italian New Yorker and not ask him about stereotypes, right?
Oh my God, there's a bunch. Oh yeah, there's a bunch. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So what's your favorite Italian stereotype?
Oh, oh jeez. Oh, we're all Guidos. Like someone asked me if I was a Guido once when I was in college. So I just looked at him and said, "Not in these clothes." You know what I mean?
Right.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, the hairy stereotype. Yeah, the stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's stupid. But I guess the way that we talk, we all sound the same. Like people used to say water, say 50, stuff like that. And,
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it comes out when you say talk and when you say when you say park.
Park.
Yeah.
Coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, coffee, stuff like that. So yeah, it's some of my accent. Yeah, when I came out here, I never noticed how much of an accent I do have because people were like, "Where are you from?" New York. And everyone says the same thing. What did you do? So.
Yeah. What do you like the most and the least about Seattle?
Well, I live on this side. That's what I like the most about it. I live in Bremerton, right by the ferry. I'm only 4 blocks from the ferry, so I used to take that when I worked on that side. Now I have a job on this side, so that's why I like it about it the most now. Okay. But public transportation in Seattle was good. I mean, just like New York, that's what I was used to.
Yeah. That bus system was phenomenal, man.
Yes. Now they have the whole light rail and a whole bunch of other things. That tunnel now.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a different Seattle.
Oh, you know what I just remembered? I used to hang out in Renton also.
Yeah, sorry, the thing keeps going off.
Yeah.
Oh, Renton. Okay, that's where they had the seminar. The second time I met the Kimuras was in.
Okay. And which city is it that has? I don't know if they still have it, but all of the decommissioned war, like the boats and what have you. Where's that museum?
Like the Navy.
Like
they got one big one over here in Bremerton that's out of commission.
Okay.
I wonder if that's out over there.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you still about the Italians. Do New York Italians have their favorite movie about New York Italians?
I guess. Trying to think what movie I like the most about New York Italians. See, everybody always thinks of a mom movie, and I try not to go back to.
I know.
And it's so hard, but they're like that movie. Actually, right there, that was a pretty good one. That reminded me of New York.
Yeah.
But they always put something awful, something tragic that happens in all those type of movies.
Yeah.
Like they all had a friend that died, and they had a friend that did drugs, overdosed.
Yeah. No, that is that. But again, that's the stereotype,
Yeah, no, it is. It's like you never hear one positive story. You come out and made something of himself.
Right.
It's like there's all stories of abuse and drug use and all this tragic shit that does happen. But it's not every single story.
Right.
Look at me. I came out here. I'm happy.
Yeah. And how did you become so internal and so mental when you're a hands-on technical guy?
Performing under pressure is a real life skill that you have to do, especially in my field. You're an electrician, you're a plumber, you go into a place that, I've dealt with fires before. We had a basement, a building adjacent to us that caught on fire. And
Right.
we had thousands of gallons of water in our basement, and that was like the day from hell.
Yeah.
So it's like you just got to go in there and start from the bottom, and it's one thing after another. But performing under pressure, especially with boxing, kickboxing, you
Mm-hmm.
know, you get hit and you have to think.
Mm-hmm.
Getting kicked and you have to think.
Mm-hmm.
Jiu-jitsu, you're getting choked out, you got to think. So it's like now or never, you know, performing under pressure. It does, you know, my line of work, I feel, does help me do that.
Right.
People have said to me, "Why are you so calm? The fire alarm has gone off 5 times." I was
Right.
like, you know, how many times I've dealt with the fire alarm gone off, and you really do have to stay calm and just, you know, keep your poise.
Yeah.
Just, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Is there like stuff that you read or listen to or watch or what have you that helps with that?
Um, yeah, I do like calming music. I do listen to, you know, it was like, well, it's funny because the Beastie Boys have it in front of one of their songs, and it's the shaman, like it's like the monks going to
Yeah. Yeah.
So I remember one time I was in the car, me and my brother, when my brother was getting married back in New York, and they were all loud, making noise. So I just put that down and I told everybody, "Shut up, find your center." So I do like music. Sometimes I just need solitude, you know.
Right. Yeah. I hear you. I hear you.
But I gotta, you know, think out my day, my plan. It's not, my life is not as easy as it used to be.
Right. So the reason why I ask you that, because I'm going to finish with this. Here's what you put up maybe 2 days ago. Nietzsche said, "He who fights with monsters should look to it that he himself does not become a monster. When you gaze long into the abyss also gazes into you."
That's right.
What the heck were you doing putting that up on Facebook?
Well, that holds a lot of truth because someone asked me when I first started training.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually a friend of mine who's religious and he's in the Russian Orthodox clergy.
Uh-huh.
And he said to me, with all you know your martial arts training, do you feel that someone, this is not me, but someone would use it for, you know, for bad purposes or evil purposes?
Mm-hmm.
I said, yeah, I do believe that you could build a better thug, you know, with martial arts. And
Right.
it's kind of like someone who gets so involved with themselves that, you know, everything they do, as far as being like, you know, way too overconfident in your training, your martial arts, that you become someone who, you know, no one wants to work with, no one wants to talk to,
Mm-hmm.
you know, no one wants to be around, and that's what I don't want to be. And
Mm-hmm.
that, and it's from the I'm writing, and I want to make a little short film based on that.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. My brother-in-law is an independent filmmaker, so
Right.
I got some ideas.
So because that was the other thing that I noticed, that you seem to be into the non-commercial movies, like the independent stuff, huh?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I
Since
always watched.
from forever, or how long, for a long time?
Yeah. I mean, I found out what the Cannes Festival was, and like you know the Independent Film Channel. We had that in New York,
Mm-hmm.
so I always used to watch that a lot. And it's like a lot of the mainstream movies. It's all the same stuff, all the same thing.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of you know foreign movies. That's why you know I like you know a lot of Chinese movies that, but not just martial arts. They were just a whole
Right.
bunch of different stories.
Yeah.
Korean monster movies and stuff I found. I was like, whoa, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And just yeah, I don't like too many mainstream movies, and it's got to have a good story.
Well, you're a real Renaissance man, huh?
Well, TV shows and movies and music, yeah, I'm like a buff for that,
Yeah.
especially with TV shows and movies.
Yeah. Yeah. But I got to tell you, you'd never think that looking at you.
No, yeah, I know. I guess there's more to me than you know, right?
Yeah. All right. Well, look, I don't want to take up any more of your time, right? Because
Oh, no.
you know, but this was so. Are you happy that you decided to come on?
Yeah, no, I really like a lot of the people that you have on there, And of course, Sifu Andy's one of my favorite people. But you
Yeah.
had the Ron and Jesse James Kozakowski.
Mm-hmm.
And if I was still living in New York and I didn't come out here, I probably would be training with them.
Right. Yeah.
So I was
Yeah.
close to that part of Connecticut.
Yeah, we got such great people, man. Yeah, we do. All right, so who would you recommend that I try to get on that I haven't had on yet, or bring back on? Because of course I'll always bring Chris Kent back on.
Right. Oh, of course. I mean, that's one of the top fellows out there.
Yeah.
You got Kevin Carmel. He works with Sifu Andy. He's been with the Kimuras for years.
Okay.
Bruce Reed is another one who's been with us in our group. He's been around for a long time.
Okay.
He was in Black Belt magazine, I think he told me, in the 80s.
Okay.
Then you have Victor Young, who taught me Kali here in Bremerton. He owns Shaolin Mixed Martial Arts.
Oh yeah, I've heard of them. Yes.
Yes. That's Victor's school. That's who taught me Kali and like the whole JKD. Well, he's taught on the Baliki. So he has that whole lineage. And he's been doing martial arts for years. You really should talk to him. He's really someone who's very interested and unbelievably well-rounded.
Okay. All right. Anybody else, or that's it? That's what comes to mind?
I'm sure I'm trying to think of a whole bunch of other people. Rob Thornton is another one. He's a friend of his. Mm-hmm. He's like a Sifu guru, and a couple other people. I'll send you some other names.
Yeah. Do that, because I'm always, one of the things that people told me they really appreciate is that I don't just go after, let's call them the big names in JKD. No, I know that's cool. Yeah. I mean, because there's more small names than there are big names in JKD. So who do you think? It's those people who are. I mean, everybody's keeping the flame, live, but there's more small names than anything else. So that's part of the goal, right? All right. So what's the best way for somebody to get in touch with you? The Facebook thing?
Yeah, contact me during Facebook Messenger.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, look, it was good to meet you. It was good to finally get to talk to you, right?
Thank you. You too. This has been fun.
All right. Okay. You take care.
All right.
All righty. Take care.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
All right. Like I said, we got the coolest people, right? So that was episode 95 with Mario Pezzo. Oh, I didn't find out if that's the right way to pronounce his name. Anyhow, not to worry. So okay, that's it for today. Feel free, share, like, comment, ask questions. We'll go through them and answer anything that we need to. Sign up for notifications for when we go live here on Facebook. And please, over on the YouTube, subscribe. And when you subscribe, also hit the notification bell for the I Love Jeet Kune Do broadcast, for the Jeet Kune Do dialogues, and for the FMA files. I'm working on getting another episode of the FMA files up, maybe this Wednesday, if not definitely next Wednesday. We will have an episode of the Jeet Kune Do dialogues on Friday. This Monday segment is not going to replace that, but I'm waiting to confirm my dialogue partner for Friday the 25th. All right, and follow me on Twitter at Dwight Woods and on Instagram at Dwight D. Woods. At ilovejeetkundo.com, the Quick Skills Series Volume 1 is still available. And I think that's it, right? So I'll see some of you on Wednesday for the I Love Jeet Kune Do broadcast. And then I'll see some of you back here on Friday for another episode of the Jeet Kune Do Dialogues. This is Dwight Woods, the JKD Rebel, signing off. You guys have a great week, and I'll see you soon. Take care.